What's up, guys? Justin here from Sycamore Ridge, and it is hot as heck out. I think it's in the 90s. There's a breeze, so that helps tremendously. Not a whole lot going on today. I've got to put up some goat feeders, but mostly I'm just wandering around the farm, making sure everybody has plenty of water, that sort of thing. Make sure everybody's dealing with the heat okay. Join me. So these guys are constantly needing more water. I check them twice a day. They still got a little on there. I'll fill it up. They got a little back there, and looks like that one's empty. So I'll get these guys filled up, and they think they're hungry too, so I'll get them their second feeding. Got Bill. Odette wants some food too. Hi, baby girl. I got Harley moved up here from out of the rabbit barn. Got this cage hung up for her. And then I'm going to get the hutch moved over just slightly there so I can hang up another bigger cage. And that'll work good. Get some more rabbits up here. In the winter though, even right now, I need to get a chunk of wood in there so she can get her feet up off the wire a little bit. So I'll see if I got one down in the garage. But check these guys' water earlier. I need to scrub these out. That one looks alright. I did some moving around yesterday with the goats. There used to be a panel right here, and that blocked the boys from the girls. Well, I opened this up, and this pin right here is where I'm eventually going to have the ducks. But I open it up for now for the girls. And then the boys, I moved down here, where the guinea's headed. So I got my pasture mowed, and of course they found this pile of crap here, and some trees and stuff growing up. So I thought I'll let the boys in here so they can mow down on some trees. They'll have some shade there, and get that cleared out for me. And while I was down here, I saw that Leo and Buddy have the runs, so I'm scared they've got some coccidia, so I'm treating them for that. I made a run to Tractor Supply earlier, and so we're working on that. And this is the trough that I got for them. Get that mounted up off the ground. And they got plenty of water. Hi, Huey. Hi, Huey. How's a Huey? He's a good boy. Yeah, him's a good boy. And there's Bill. There's my buddy. Leo's out there chilling in the shade with a couple of turkins. Some turkins down there hanging out with him. Must like it down there too. Birds are chilling in the shade right here. It's been so stinking dry. Like, I just hate it. This time of year is the worst. It's dry, it's kind of windy. You're too hot to want to water anything. Here's a good example of not getting enough water. So this is the Jerusalem artichokes, and I put them in this container because I read they might just take over. So obviously they're in a spot where I don't water very often, so they're struggling. Struggle bus. don't know if struggling's the word. Dying is probably a better word. But the fruit trees still look good, so that's really good. Then you got these guys. What are we doing? We've got duckies galore. We've got fluffy butt. We've got a couple of broilers. We've got, I think they are Californians. That's the smaller white ones. We got those because they were getting picked on at Tractor Supply, and their butts were all bloody, so we just brought them home. 2 birds. What's 2 more at this point? I'll show you these other birds I got. I don't think I showed them yet. I'm so behind on recording. Alright, here we go. I might have shown these. So these are Caturnix quail. They need fed again. They are wasteful little boogers. They go through a lot of feed. I keep moving their cage because when they splash the water in their feed, it gets real gross underneath. So I keep moving it. Looks like I got a couple eggs in there. I am up to 4 eggs. So if they sexed them right, that means I only have 1 freeloader. And that's a really small egg. So I'm wondering if my freeloader stepped up today. Looks like there's 2 eggs in there so far. I'll get these guys a little more feed. What's up, Bubba? I gave them some oyster shell because a few of the eggs I was getting were pretty weak. So I don't want to waste that. There we go. If your birds start to get really weak shells that crack easily, give them a little bit of oyster shell. And since these guys are so small, what I did was put that oyster shell in my NutriBullet and pretty much ground it down to a powder, and that worked pretty good. So since it's about 3 o'clock now, I'm going to get water bottles and take them to some of the bunnies. Luna, what are you doing in here? It's so hot, even Luna's hanging out inside. Come on. Alright, we're going to go check on the rabbits in the barn. Make sure they're doing alright. They get a pretty good breeze through there, but the ones in the back corner, sometimes it gets pretty stagnant, so I always kind of worry about them. We'll get them some water bottles. Alright, so JJ here, he is a Flemish giant. Here you go, buddy. So Flemish giants, they're going to suffer a little more than other breeds just because of their sheer size. And so he's been struggle bus the last couple of days. So give him a water bottle. And then looks like, oh my gosh. Were you death napping? Thought you were dead. Alright, so the frozen water bottles, that's just one thing you can do to help get the bunnies cooled down a little bit. You can get real fancy. I've seen like misters and fans and stuff like that. This is fairly open. If you see here, I've got the garage door, and then I've got a couple of panels pulled off to try to catch a breeze. It's just this back corner gets really hot. So that's one of the many reasons I'm trying to get everybody moved out of here, because the reason I've got them in the back corner is because it leaks really bad on that side, so it's just a struggle. Slowly but surely we'll get everybody out of here. And I'm checking on the waters. It looks like we could use a little bit more water. Oh, I got a little bit left for Kim here. So you saw Krusty's 3 babies. She's got 3 different colors, so that's turned out really cool. And since then, I have had 2 more litters. And one went really well and one not so much. So this one, not so much. Alright, so there's 2 little white bunnies in there. So that's from Cora. And if you recall, Cora usually has pretty big litters. Well, I bred her with Pat this time. She had 4, and 2 either died immediately or I don't know, but they were dead when I got out here to check. So that really sucks. Cora is a good mom as far as my experience has been with her. So unfortunately, she only has a litter of 2. So that sucks. Then we got Tina. So I came out here to check on everybody. And it was a little later in the afternoon, like now. And there was a random bunny in the cage with Tina. And Tina had a bloody butt. Bunny was bloody. And I was like, holy cow, she just had this baby. Why? What was going on? I don't know. So I pick it up, put it back in the hutch part, the nest, and just left her alone, you know, hope for the best. I don't know what the heck is going on. Come back the next morning, and there are 8 babies, all healthy, all looking good, right where they're supposed to be. So that's awesome. Then yesterday morning, I came out to check on everybody, and there was a baby out on the cage with his head stuck in the wire. So it like stuck, like I really had to pull it out. So got the baby out, and everybody seems to be doing fine. Let's double check here. Oh yeah, look at them babies. Yeah, we got some babies. So right there was where the baby's head was stuck. But everybody seems to be doing really good now, so that's good. With it being so hot, I kind of worry about them, but like I said, they got a good breeze. It feels all right out here. So Tina is right out here on the edge, so she gets a good breeze, so that's good. I don't worry quite so much about them. So that's a good thing. Now we'll go check some indoor critters. So they can get hot too, but they're pretty young, so they need a little heat. Hi, babies! Oh, look at these babies! So these guys seem to be doing really well. Looks like they need some more water, so I'll go get them some more water. But they are healthy, happy babies. These are the ones that we hatched. And talk about like a crazy successful hatch rate. This is 10 out of the 12 that we put in. And like, I don't want to brag, but it's my first time doing it all by myself. So, and without an egg turner. And that's a still air incubator that I was using. So I had already bought another one without even thinking about how awesome my hatch rate was. Because I was like, I'm not doing this crap again. Rotating my own eggs, pain in the butt. It wasn't that bad though. It's just like I get home and go, oh shoot, I gotta rotate eggs. Can't forget to rotate the eggs right before I go to bed. But I think I got some old footage I'll put in here, but you can barely even tell now. But one of these guys was on the struggle bus right after he was born. Probably a she. I'm hoping it's she. But that little booger right there, you can't even tell now. I'm going to use your house. But that's Lucky. And Lucky must have had a pulled tendon, is our diagnosis based on what we found on the internet. And so he couldn't, like, stand up very well. He kept falling down. Melissa and I, mostly Melissa, would give him some physical therapy because he could stand all right, like, by himself and, you know, like, on the floor, if everything was even, you know, nobody bothering him. So we did that a lot, and he finally got to the point where he could pretty much stand by himself. Well, then he wasn't eating, so Melissa was doing her best to get him to eat, and now he's, like, right there with the rest of them, and he's starting to get big enough to kind of catch back up to everybody that I have to give a second look to be able to pick him out. He was, like, quite a bit smaller than everybody else. So that's pretty awesome. Oh, look at the snuggles. Whoop, so much for that. Alright, I'll get these guys some water. Yeah, they're not very tame. Little psychos. There's your water. Alright, now let's go out to the garden. Alright, here is the garden. It's definitely been neglected a little bit. Not as bad as usual this time of year with me not being employed. But it's seen better days. But one thing, got some late green beans going. Took forever. We planted them with the other green beans that we already took out. Now look at them. Well, that's not green bean. I think this is wild cucumber. But these guys are actually doing pretty good. Tastes good anyway. But what we do have, strawberries, done. Starting to get taken over. Mint, on the flower, basil, on the flower, a little chill out spot, pretty well taken over by grass. Cilantro still looks pretty good. This is some of my fall stuff, believe it or not. Hot as balls, but you never know. These are dragon tongue beans. I just planted a few of the seeds I had left over here. The turnips, looking good. Check that out. That's good progress right there. I might be able to harvest a few of these. Mustard greens that are pretty darn tasty. Haven't really taken off yet. Oh yeah, tastes awesome. Cucumbers for the fall. Looking pretty good. Getting some blooms there. So that's awesome. Over here is one patch of sweet potatoes. I need to figure out when to harvest them. But hopefully they're doing well. I haven't really done much to them. They seem to be, they look good up here anyway. spaghetti squash. And this one was put in a little later than everything else, so it still looks pretty darn good. Squash beetles, again, they're the worst, taking over stuff. This hasn't really taken off and done anything. I have a few kale. It's looking alright. Turnips. That's a volunteer arugula. And just not much. Volunteer peas. Hopefully do something. But I blame myself for this. I planted this in that cool spell that we had, thinking like, yeah, fall. And then it got really stinking hot again, and I have just not been very good about watering anything. So I really only have myself to blame. But it's the first time I've done a fall garden of any sorts, so I'm not going to beat myself up too bad about it. And the other reason I'm not too concerned with the kale is this kale from the spring is actually doing very well overall. It's kind of making a comeback here. There's still some new growth coming, so that makes me feel good that I'll have a little bit of kale to tide me over anyway. This crazy Brussels sprout that survived the snowstorm last spring, it's like holding on, I guess. Nothing planted here. Didn't get to any of that. My tiller's like crazy town, but I at least got it tilled. Holy cow. Look at these peppers. Ooh. These stupid things have been struggling all year. Like, haven't done anything. These guys, while they look droopy now, because I haven't watered anything, have actually been doing pretty well. And then that one's done awesome. This one's been doing awesome. My poor eggplant. This one struggled the whole time. I had another one here that was doing awesome, and then it broke off. So that sucked. This pepper plant, there was actually two right here. They've been doing well, but I've yet to figure out like why just these four right here sucked so bad. But it's okay. Not like a huge pepper fan. So, I don't know. Melissa asked like why the heck I even planted them. Well, because on the rare chance that they're not crazy ass hot, I do like peppers. These big ones here, I eat these a lot. These guys right here. Those are pretty tasty. Not too much heat. So, there's a tomatillo in here. I've got a few off of it. Whoop, that one's probably ready. Yep. So I need to do some harvesting. I might come out here with my basket. Yep, there's a few. So if I get enough of these, I can make verde salsa. 4 rows. Probably out of water. It's just frustrating looking at it. The animals have kind of been a little more of a focus lately. Okra, I'd say, was a big success this year. I definitely need to harvest. Now these giant ones I'm saving for the seeds, but these guys I need to get out here and harvest. I will do that. There used to be a squash plant here. This is the squash that was on it that never ripened. There are tomato plants in here. There's tomatoes in there. There we go. Starting to fade. Be nice if these guys still ripen up. There's so many to harvest. You can tell I started mowing and then I killed my mower and I never started again. Maybe I'll get ambitious. There's a few maters starting to die out. There's a few. Uh-oh. Ah, look at that. See? This guy I'll pull. That guy. Chicken food. Hopefully this one holds on. See, this is the sort of thing. When you start neglecting, I probably could have saved this. Definitely $2 in there. But, been putting it off. Chickens will love it though. Almost. Oh, there's some in there. Ah, cucumbers. Yoish. So, there were some gourds. And then this was some zucchini and squash. Alright. In and amongst here, some more sweet potatoes. Now they don't look as good as my other ones. Okra, still producing. Alright. We did get some ambrosia melons. I think Melissa's mentioned this, at least maybe on our Facebook. So if you're not on our Facebook, you need to get on there. Because every now and then we'll just jump in and go live on Facebook for the heck of it. Well, Luna discovered the garden. And she thought that we were so cool because we were growing balls just for her. And she started grabbing the balls out of the garden and taking one to Melissa on her way to work. So, Luna was harvesting our watermelon for us. She jumped the gun a little bit, and so we missed out on quite a few watermelon. Now, why wouldn't I just put my gate back on? Well, because Luna can clear the fence. She is a deer. And so the gate wouldn't do any good. But I did fix the problem, sorta. And so hopefully we won't have that problem again moving forward. Not seeing any watermelon, but I know we had some babies getting started. Man, we really need rain. Like, that would be awesome right now. So, while the garden does look better than it has in years past, like, it would all look like that. Just grown up crazy. So, at least, you know, we're still getting a little good out of it. I might finish mowing it a little bit. But right now, I think I'm going to go get my basket and do some harvesting. Here's my Luna proofing. I got this fence on sale on Marketplace. Now, she could probably still clear right there if she wanted to, but this was her like favorite spot. So I just need to put more of this up to fully Luna proof it. But I don't think there's anything even left for her to take at this point. Here's my asparagus. If you remember, early in the spring I had the one giant random stalk. That asparagus is super old and never really done anything. So, well, it's hot. I've got a little harvesting I need to do, so I'm gonna go get my basket, get that done, get something to drink, and to let you guys go. So I will catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for joining me, and hope you're having a good one. Later.